والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك
في المدينة
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
Ogun State pilgrims are settling down in Medina, having arrived to join their counterparts from other states who are already there for visits to historical sites as well as offer prayers at the Grand Mosque of Prophet Muhammad. They were welcomed on arrival by officials of NAHCON who are already on ground to receive the pilgrims. The officials proceeded to sort out the accommodation arrangements. The pilgrims were paired and assigned rooms in the 5-star hotels secured by NAHCON in neighborhoods near the Grand Mosque of Prophet Muhammad. Feeding arrangements were also made for the pilgrims who will be entitled to 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner. Just like their counterparts from other states earlier spoken to, the Ogun State pilgrims said they are satisfied with feeding and accommodation arrangements made by NAHCON.
The issue of feeding, shukran lillahi ta'ala, the organizers have tried, and I give it to them, and I pray Almighty Allah to accept it as act of ibadah for them all.
The level of accommodation is better, transportation is better. At that time, maybe because I come from Ogun State, we used to pass through Jeddah, and now it is straight to Medina. It's much, much better. Accommodation too is better. And there was no feeding at that time. Now there's feeding.
The accommodation, no, it's superb. So superb. Alhamdulillah, we are getting there.
Back home, pilgrims from Sokoto State performing the Hajj have been advised to be law-abiding while at home and in Saudi Arabia. The Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, Alhaji Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto, gave the advice while giving a farewell speech on behalf of the State Governor, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, at the Sokoto International Airport. He emphasized the need for the pilgrims to follow strictly the rules and regulations of the holy pilgrimage so that they can have a successful Hajj.
Ƙasar Saudi Arabia tana da dokokinta waɗanda sun sha bamban da dokokin Najeriya. Nan ƙasarmu ta Najeriya idan aka yi doka wata rana akan je a ce a ga wane a yi magana da wane a riƙe ka, ko a ɗaga ma ƙafa ko a je a ga wane shi magana domin a samu sassabci. Ƙasar Saudi Arabia wanda ya sa dokan nan kila ko larabci ba ka ji bale ka tambaye shi sassabci. In ya sa doka ya sa doka, in abu ya farma ka ɓata sunan ƙaramar hukumar mulkin ka ɓata sunan jihar Sokoto, ka ɓata sunan Najeriya, ka ɓata sunan Afirka, kuma duk musulman duniya za su yi Allah wadda da kai.
Director General Sokoto State Pilgrims Welfare Agency Alhaji Ibrahim Umar, in his speech said measures have been taken to ensure a hitch-free Hajj exercise. He also advised the pilgrims to be diligent in all their dealings in Saudi Arabia.
Duk 'yan tawagar da ke kuma ji daɗin alhazai da kwamitocin da aka kafa domin aikin nan na jagorancin alhazai suna yin aiki tukuru kuma suna ba da goyon baya, kuma muna godiya bisa ga aikin da sun kai. Mai girma mataimakin gwamna, ina son in shaida maka cewa in Allah ya so alhazzan nan da kake gani a cikin jirgi muna kira gare su domin su kiyaye doka ta ƙasa mai tsarki da dokan Najeriya.
Similarly, airlift of pilgrims from Borno State is progressing steadily and without hitches. This underscores the conviction by NAHCON that if the tempo is maintained in all the zones, the airlift operations will be completed ahead of the projected time frame. Addressing the pilgrims, Borno State Commissioner for Religious Affairs, Alhaji Mustafa Fannarobe, said the state government has taken necessary measures to ensure a successful Hajj for all Borno State pilgrims, promising to support them at all times. The commissioner who represented the governor at the occasion unfolded government's plans for the pilgrims. Meanwhile, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON has said that 58% of the total numbers of Nigerian pilgrims performing the 2017 Hajj have so far been airlifted. NAHCON Commissioner in charge of operation Abdullahi Modibo Sali said at a news briefing that the remaining 42% will be airlifted ahead of schedule.
We have a total of 65,275 intending pilgrims to airlift. So far, we have been able to, as of today, airlift up to 38,161. That brings us to 58% of the total expected airlift to be undertaken. And by this, we have a total of around 29,489, which is around 42% of the airlift.
He also disclosed that out of the 20,000 seats allocated to private tour operators, a little more than 17,000 have been booked, representing 86%. Saudi Arabia has announced that it is using more than 17,000 buses to boost public transportation during the Hajj season. The buses, which operate under the auspices of a body known as General Motors Syndicate, will largely be involved in ferrying pilgrims between holy sites of Mecca, Muna, Arafat and Muzdalifah. The Secretary General of General Motors Syndicate, Mohammed Ghazi, said the buses will be transporting more than 1.5 million pilgrims during the period, which he said is much higher than the previous year. For this purpose, about 22,000 drivers have been engaged to operate the buses.
The medical needs of Nigerian pilgrims is one area the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON attaches great importance during the Hajj exercise. This explains why the Commission goes extra mile to ensure that this responsibility is effectively discharged. As part of the preparations for the 2017 Hajj, NAHCON screened and trained some selected doctors, pharmacists and nurses who will attend to the health needs of pilgrims in Saudi Arabia.
We sought for nominations of medical personnel from all the states of the Federation, as well as some from the National Commission of Nigeria to form this team. So far, we have recruited and trained 450 personnel. I say trained because they were given proper orientation and given exact training of what to expect and how to deal with pilgrims, because the situation over there is completely different from the operations here in Nigeria.
As part of the measures to ensure success, some medical personnel moved to Saudi Arabia earlier to set up all the clinics before the commencement of airlift of pilgrims. NAHCON head of Medina Clinics, Dr. Hamidul Liman, explains this arrangement.
The medical team came in advance of the pilgrims. We've been here 3 days before even the pilgrims started coming, just to make sure that we clean the premises, we set up the clinic as it is, in terms of making sure that every room is properly designated to be able to render service to these patients.
Being primary healthcare service providers, NAHCON clinics have been equipped with all the necessary tools.
In terms of equipment, basically everything that we need to run a primary healthcare is available.
What services does a primary healthcare clinic offer? Chief of Operations for 2017 Hajj National Medical Team, Dr. Mohammed Bello Abdul Qadir, provides an insight.
The primary health care is the normal outpatient care where we see simple cases, uncomplicated, that does not require hospital administration or surgical operation. We just give simple outpatient care and we follow them up on routine basis. Those that require admission or surgical intervention, we refer them immediately to the Saudi hospitals.
In Medina, 3 clinics were set up, while Mecca has 4 to take care of pilgrims.
We have a clinic here where the headquarters of the medical mission is, at Shara Hijra. We have another clinic at Shara Mansur. We have another clinic, we call it Gombe Outreach, and there is a clinic at Kudai area.
This is one of the clinics set up by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, at Shara Hijra. In this clinic, pilgrims, male and female, with different ailments are attended to. But first step is to register them in the newly introduced electronic medical registration system. Nurses checked patients, then refer them to the doctors, and from the doctors to pharmacy, as the case may be. All this is done through the electronic medical registration system, EMR. In one of the male wards, we met Hassan Umar, whose father was admitted. Hassan said he did not face any challenge like shortage of drugs or absence of staff to attend to them.
Jiya da muka zo sun yi kokari da jama'a da yawa wurin suka ce bari a fara kula mu, sai da shi emergency ne, shine aka karbe shi, aka yaje aka dora shi gado, sannan kuma aka zo aka mai drip da allurori, amma drip leda 3.
Other pilgrims who also benefited from this clinic at Shara Hijra bared their minds.
A gaskiya suna kokari tsakani da Allah, saboda duk wanda ya karba maganin nan zan ji ya ci ya ji daɗi. Ban fuskanci kalubale ko guda ɗaya kan da likita ba. Na zo na matsala da kawai da da tsamban layi an ban magani kuma alhamdulillah.
In all the clinics we visited, doctors confirmed to us that majority of the pilgrims treated come with minor ailments.
From our records, we have seen about 4,350 pilgrims with various ailments. The commonest is high fever, febrile illness. And you can actually explain the high fever because of the weather we have and because of the movement of the pilgrims.
This is also another clinic at Shara Mansur. Here too, as in other locations, pilgrims who come down with sicknesses are properly taken care of. Dr. Musliu Kolawole is the chief medical doctor in charge of the clinic. He gives an outline of the pilgrims they received from this area.
The states that are largely populated this place is Borno, Adamawa, Yobe, Kogi, Niger, FCT. These are the major, and then Nasarawa, Zamfara, and some part of Sokoto state.
He said the pilgrims usually come to the clinic around 10 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, and 8 in the evening.
The peak period where we receive pilgrims are usually immediately after around 10, 11, when pilgrims come from Haram. And then some that wanted to go for Zuhur prayer will branch the hospital. Some of them are truly sick, some of them just want to come around to see what is happening and even get drugs. The other time we have peak is immediately after Asr prayer. Like as you are coming now, patients have started trooping in. Then finally, one of the peak period we have is immediately after Isha prayer.
An important aspect in all the clinics is the provision of isolation ward, where patients with unique ailments are isolated for further medical action.
There are some certain diseases that are notifiable by the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Health standard. And once we see such disease, for example, during the time when we have the corona viruses, influenza viruses, they are not supposed to be mixed with such individuals. So we put them in that isolation room which you saw. Before you enter into that place, we do what we call a barrier nursing. You protect yourself and protect the program and the other health workers. But as soon as we admit them there, We call the Saudi officials, notify them, and immediately they will come and pick the patient up. We clean up that particular room and put in new things into that place.
NAHCON also supplied the clinics with the drugs needed to enable them function effectively. The drugs are kept at the Commission's Central Pharmacy Store situated at Shara Mansour area of Mecca. Pharmacist Inua Yao heads the pharmacy unit. He speaks about the drugs supplied by NAHCON and the measures taken to check misuse.
We came in from Nigeria with 35,000 pack, meaning that if 35,000 pilgrims will have malaria in Saudi Arabia, which it doesn't happen, our estimation is normally 15 to 20%.
The ambulances provided have been put to effective use. They are being used to convey pilgrims to clinics during emergency and back to their residences after treatment. They are also used for movement of drugs from the stores to the clinics. In ensuring that pilgrims are benefiting from the medical facilities provided, NAHCON engages in pilgrims awareness campaign about the existence of all the facilities available in Saudi Arabia.
Advocacy is an important arm of treatment modality, particularly in an ad hoc operation, in a mass gathering like we have in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and anywhere in the world, such that when pilgrims come, we are supposed to take advocacy, that is making visitation to their various accommodation points. And the NAHCON officials in Mecca has made the telephone numbers of these officials available to us.
Pilgrims are now making good use of this opportunity, and so far things are moving as planned by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON. The Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith, Al-Hajj Arafah, that is, Hajj is the standing on the plains of Arafah, without which there is no Hajj. The Arafah plains is an expansive space around a mountain called Jabal al-Rahmah, about 20 kilometers southeast of Mecca. The pilgrims spend the 8th day of Zulhijjah in Mina. On the morning of the 9th day, all roads lead to the plains of Arafah. The 9th day of Zulhijjah is ascribed as the most important day in the 4 chosen months of the year. It has some activities that are common to it. Some of these activities are staying on the plains of Arafah till sunset, praying Dhuhr and Asr in Qasr form at the time of Zuhr, listening to khutbah either at the Namira Masjid or in pilgrims' tents, spending the day supplicating, reading the Quran, glorifying Allah and making dua, repenting and seeking for forgiveness from Allah. Dr. Musa Olaofe, the Chief Imam of Ansaruddin Mosque, Abuja, guides the pilgrim on the standing on the plains of Arafah, starting from the morning of the 9th of Zulhijjah. He explains the significance of Arafah.
Everybody all over the world assemble there. Is one of the significance to see that we do things together. Are you getting it now? Common thing together. We do the same dhikr, the same cloth, the same things we perform together at that very point in time. And you'll be hearing the prayers everywhere. Are you getting it now? So this one will be doing their own, this one will be doing their own, and they are not saying any other thing except what you yourself are saying. So it brings all of us together to tell us that on the day of Qiyamah, are you getting it now? Allah can resurrect all of us at the same time, that for judgment.
What then is the position of Yamul Arafah to the pilgrim?
There is nobody that will go to Mecca. If you have not been to the Mount of Arafah, you have not performed the Hajj of that very year. So Prophet says, Al-Hajju Arafah. And on the day that Allah forgives sins so much is on the day of Arafah. So everybody will move. As you left Mecca, together with your family, your friends and well-wishers, that you perform the same Hajj together with you, we're all there with our ihram. And when we get to the place of Arafah, it is the Arabs are very organized. They will tell you Arafah begins here. Don't stay where Arafah does not begin. If you stay there, that shows you have not performed that year Hajj. Arafah begins here. Anywhere they say Arafah begins, that is where you're supposed to be. But you see, let's say for example now, I'm from Gombe, and you are from Adamawa. The people carrying us to that place, they have locations where we have to locate their people. So that is designation where you go and look for your people and stay with them.
Imam Musa spells out the shortening of prayers as one of the most important things expected of the pilgrim.
When you are in Arafah, you are there to observe prayers. You are there to say so many prayers that when it is time for Zuhur, you've already performed Subuhi in Mona before leaving for Arafah. So when you are to perform Zuhur, both Zuhur and Asri will be combined together in combination of delay. Are you getting it now? So they will call Zuhur, are you getting it now? And Asri, one prayer and 2 Ikama. So but they have to shorten the 2 prayers. Both Zuhur and Asri will perform together at the same time. Are you getting it now? With 2 Ikama and 1 Adhan.
The Imam, however, observed that some pilgrims, on the account of the historical importance of Jabal al-Rahma, would want to climb up the Jabal al-Rahma mountain, said this is unnecessary.
When you get to the Mount of Arafah, there is no need for you to go and climb that mountain. You know, some people will tell you that they will go there and say that this is Arafah. It is true that it's Arafah, but it is unnecessary. It is bid'ah. Just see it, and anywhere you see people sitting in their tent, let's be there. There is no need for you to go there and say that I've come, this is Arafah, hope you see me. You know, it's bid'ah.
Imam Musa Olaofe also clears the air on the phrase standing on the plains of Arafah, which some pilgrims may misinterpret.
Standing in Arafah is just like a statement, just like a grammar. Are you getting it now? That can qualify so many things. When you come to the mosque now, we are ready to stand for prayer. Are you saying that because you have already stood for the prayer, you will not sit down again? Are you getting? So whenever you want to pray at Mount of Arafah, you remain standing and talk to Allah. Oh Allah, if you answer me, nobody can say yes. Nobody can say no. You have answer, you have yes, you have no to say. You get it now? So when you stand, by the time you pray and you are tired, you can sit down. When you are ready again, you still stand up. You get it now? Almost 4 hours is left for you to talk to Almighty Allah. And you see, the reason why we pray so hard in Arafah is that nobody knows which Arafah are you going to observe last.
Dr. Musa then assured the pilgrims of the efficacy of all good supplications and dua offered on the plains of Arafah.
Standing on the Mount of Arafah is very, very essential. You talk to Allah, you do so many things, you do dhikr, you remember Allah. We have seen so many people that when they get there, they talk to Allah and Allah answers them immediately. So there is no doubt about that. Spiritually is confirmed that whatever you want Allah to do for you, when you get there, just talk to Him. He is ever ready to answer that prayer.
Finally, Dr. Olaofe speaks on the next port of call for pilgrims after the Arafah.
Now, when you finish that one, by that time around 5:36, you will not perform Maghrib in Arafah. You have to go to Muzdalifah. So, Muzdalifah, that is combination of delay. The first one is an advance. Are you getting it now? That is the 2 rakat. So, combination in advance. But that of Muzdalifah, when you leave Arafah, the next place you go to is Muzdalifah.
I don't know what the Commission is doing this year to prevent.
How often has the National Hajj Commission embarked?
How can they make it more comfortable? At the national level, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, there are 6 days in which the Hajj rites are performed.
We are putting in place mechanism to ensure that on each flight, at least we should have, as much as possible, the medical personnel to accompany the pilgrims and keep them.
From 2007, gone. This problem is gone.
And what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said is this Hajj is compulsory at least once in a lifetime.
Toliat Ogundipe wants further explanation on the quotation on the delay or hastening the stay in Muna.
The verse of the Holy Quran says, فَمَنْ تَعْجَلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. Whosoever hastens to leave Minan in 2 days, there is no sin on him. And whosoever delays, there is no sin on him. The verse seems to imply that hastening and delaying are all the same. But the scholars say that hastening, that's staying in Mina for 2 days, is something allowed. It's not that it is the same as staying for 3 days. Yes, because actually the Prophet stayed for 3 days. And then you are in Diyafatullah. The longer you are in Diyafatullah, the better. So the person who stays for 3 days is better than the person who stays for 2 days.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا